Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're all about getting real, getting raw, and today, it's all about Jen Sincero's You Are a Badass.
Love that book.
That book's been on your list so clearly. Something's calling you to unlock some serious potential here.
Yeah, and just highlighting the good stuff sometimes isn't enough, That's where this deep dive comes in.
It's about taking action. So Sincero, right out the gate, drops this bomb on us. Subconscious programming.
Oh, I know exactly what you mean. Those beliefs we pick up as kids that just stick around.
They become our own personal rule book, even if it's
totally outdated.
Totally. I'm picturing that time some kid told me I sounded like a dying walrus when I tried to sing.
Ouch.
Yeah, haven't touched a karaoke mic since.
Wow, see, that's exactly how these early experiences can they can totally shape our lives.
It's scary how powerful those messages can be.
And the thing is, it's not like we're even aware of it most of the time.
Right. They're sneaky. Like Sincero talks about, remember that story? She's at the bowling alley?
Oh, yeah.
Classic Sincero, using humor to make a point.
But those bowling lanes, man, they're slippery.
Exactly. She's making a point, though. These subconscious beliefs, they're sneaky, they trip us up, and we don't even realize it.
Totally. It's like, what are my slippery lanes,
Okay, so how do we even begin to identify these sneaky beliefs? They don't exactly show up on a to-do list.
Right. It takes some serious introspection.
Okay, so what? What do we do?
So Sincero, she tells us to really look at the areas where we feel stuck. Those repeating thought patterns.
Yeah, like the broken record in your head.
The negative self-talk.
Oh, I know that one.
Those are like giant flashing neon signs pointing to those beliefs.
Got it. Find the stuck points, find the beliefs. Then Sincero, she wants us to unleash our inner badass.
Yes. Love that part.
It's not about being arrogant, though, right?
No, not at all.
It's more about owning your worth.
Yes. And she says it takes the same energy to believe in our, awesomeness as it does to believe all that old, dusty negativity. It's true. So why not pick the awesome
And raise that baggage.
Right. Where do we sign up for awesomeness?
Seriously. So how do we actually make that shift? Because Sincero talks about tapping into the mother lode, and that just sounds powerful.
Right, and it is. It's like plugging into a universal power source, an unlimited supply of energy and potential, always there for us.
Okay, I'm listening. Unlimited energy. I like the sound of this.
And the meditation is key to accessing it.
Meditation. Okay, I have to be honest. Sometimes that word makes me think of trying to empty my brain, which with my inner monologue, not gonna happen.
That's the thing. Sincere gets that. She really breaks it down, makes it doable.
So no need to be a Zen master on a mountaintop.
Nope. Just a few minutes, some focused breathing, finding that quiet space within.
And that does what? Exactly.
It can shift those deep-seated thought patterns we were just talking about, and even a short practice can do wonders.
Okay, that's pretty amazing. It's like hitting the reset button on our brains. Speaking of rewiring our brains, there's that chapter title, Your Brain is Your Bitch. Bold. I kind of feel like I should give my brain a performance review now.
It's about recognizing you're the one in control here.
Okay, so my brain works for me.
You have the power. You choose your thoughts. You're not letting them run wild.
I see. So I'm the boss. Sincero talks about visualization too, right? Picturing yourself already living the dream life.
Exactly. Sending that powerful message to your subconscious.
And she even talks about upgrading your environment to match your dream life. Swap out that old futon for something a little more,
Aspirational.
Exactly. So our surroundings really impact us.
Absolutely. Our environment can either hold us back or lift us up. It's about creating a space that supports your growth, reminds you of what's possible.
It's like, if your environment's not matching your dreams, girl, it's time for a makeover.
Right. Out with the old, in with the new you.
And then there's the chapter title I both love, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm slightly terrified to even ask about Lead with Your Crotch.
Okay, Sincero, I'm all ears. That got your attention, didn't it?
Only a little. Okay, so on a deeper level, what's she saying here?
It's about that fearless energy we had as kids. Before we started doubting ourselves,
Before we learned to play it safe.
Exactly.
Oh, I totally get that. I feel like so many of us lose that fearlessness as we get older.
It's like we trade passion for practicality.
And Sincero, she actually did something that screams lead with your crotch back in the day.
Okay, you gotta tell me, what does she do?
She was in a band.
No way. Seriously, what kind of music?
Get ready for this, because it gets even better. The band was called Crotch.
Wait, Crotch, you're kidding. That's incredible.
I know, and it gets even better. They were even that good.
I love it.
Just a group of women who barely knew their instruments, rocking out with pure enthusiasm.
That's amazing. It embodies the whole lead with your crotch thing. Just dive in, even if you're not an expert yet.
Exactly. It's like, you don't need permission to be passionate. You don't need to be perfect to start. Okay, so moving on from musical misadventures, Sincero tackles a big one. Overcoming our BS. But this time, BS stands for big snooze.
Ah, yes. The big snooze. The voice of fear and self-doubt that just wants us to hit snooze on our dreams.
Oh, I know that voice. It's so good at whispering all the reasons why we can't or shouldn't even try.
Right. It's like it wants to keep us small and safe, but ultimately unfulfilled.
So how do we kick the big snooze to the curb?
Well, Sincero suggests something called the "this is good because" exercise. It's all about changing your perspective, finding the good, even when things are tough.
Okay, so instead of getting stuck in negativity, you're actively looking for the silver lining.
Exactly. You're training your brain to see challenges as opportunities for growth.
It reminds me of that quote, life is 10% what happens to me and 90% how I react to it.
Exactly. And the more you practice this, the easier it becomes to automatically see the positive.
It's like building mental muscles, but for optimism.
Exactly.
Okay, shifting gears a little bit. Sincero's big on the power of forgiveness. And I love how she talks about it. It's not about letting someone off the hook for bad behavior. It's about freeing yourself from that anger and resentment.
She has this great analogy. Holding on to grudges is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die.
Wow. Yeah, it's true. We think we're punishing them, but we're only hurting ourselves.
Exactly. And that poison, it just sits there eating away at us.
Mm-hmm.
Forgiveness is a gift we give ourselves.
Okay, I can see that. Do you think there's a connection between forgiveness and this idea of letting go that Sincero is always talking about?
Definitely. Forgiveness, it's a huge step towards letting go.
How so?
When we forgive, we're releasing the past's grip on us. And that opens up space for new possibility.
New adventure.
Exactly. Sincero tells this hilarious story about a crazy bus ride in India to illustrate this point.
Oh, yeah, I remember that one. Equal parts terrifying and inspiring.
Okay, so picture this. Jam-packed bus, barely holding it together, making random stops, picking up stray animals. It's chaos.
Oh my gosh, that sounds more stressful than inspiring right now.
Right. Sincero's freaking out a little, but then she has this realization.
What's that?
She can either fight against this craziness or she can surrender to it.
So it's about choosing to go with the flow, even when it's, well, nuts.
Exactly. And, it's a total metaphor for life, right?
Because sometimes our plans go out the window and we just have to roll with it.
Exactly. We can miss out on the magic of the unplanned when we're too busy stressing about the plan.
So it's like being a passenger on the adventure instead of a stressed out backseat driver.
That's a great way to put it. So are you ready to surrender to the chaos?
Sign me up. I'm adding surrender to the chaos to my to-do list. So after the bus ride, Sincero switches gears to decision-making.
She's big on trusting your gut, that inner voice that often knows the answer, even when your brain's still trying to figure things out.
I get that. I'm the queen of overthinking. Sometimes I just need to trust my gut, but it's hard.
Sincero uses this example of Henry Ford and how determined he was to create the V8 engine.
Wait, Henry Ford, what does building cars have to do with, personal growth?
He had this vision, this absolute knowing that the V8 engine was possible, even when everybody else thought he was nuts.
Okay, I see. He trusted his gut even when it seemed impossible.
Exactly. And it revolutionized the auto industry. It's about trusting yourself, even when it seems crazy to other people.
Okay, so what you're saying is, if Henry Ford can trust his gut to build an engine, I can trust mine to, finally figure out if I should get bangs.
Exactly. It's all about trusting that inner wisdom.
I love it. Okay, let's talk money. That's a topic that makes a lot of people squirm.
Right. But Sincero, she goes there. She wants us to have a healthy relationship with money.
I appreciate that she doesn't shy away from it. It's so important, but no one wants to talk about it.
She says money is currency and currency is energy. It's about aligning your energy with abundance, not seeing money as the enemy.
So instead of stressing about bills, we should focus on how money can create opportunities, allow us to do the things we love.
Yes. It's about shifting your mindset from scarcity to abundance.
And it's not just about wishing for it, right? She gives us tools.
Oh, absolutely. She's all about giving you the tools to actually make it happen, setting financial goals, visualizing achieving them, and then taking action to make it real.
So it's like those same principles we've been talking about all apply to money, too.
Exactly. You have the power to create the financial reality you desire. It all starts with your mindset.
So powerful. Instead of saying, I can't afford that, it's about asking, How can I create the abundance to experience that?
Yes. It's subtle, but it's a huge shift.
I am so ready to dive deeper into those manifesting techniques.
Me too. I'm ready to upgrade my bank account.
Let's do it. But first, a quick word from our sponsors. Don't go away. We'll be back with more amazing insights from You Are a Badass right after this.
Okay, so Mila, what kind of music did Sincero's band play?
Get this. Their big hit was Moist Panties.
You have got to be kidding me. Moist Panties. That's amazing and kind of perfect.
Right. Classic Sincero, bold and unapologetic.
So did they play? Like punk rock?
I know. It gets even better. They weren't even that good at it.
Oh, that makes it even better.
Just a bunch of friends having fun, rocking out.
See, that's what I'm talking about. You don't have to be a rock star. You just have to go for it.
Lead with your crotch. Right. So, speaking of taking risks, Sincero talks about overcoming what she calls our BS, big snooze.
Oh, the big snooze. I know that one.
It's that voice of fear and doubt we all have.
The one that tells you to just stay in bed. It's not worth it.
It's the master of keeping us safe, but also stuck.
Totally. We end up playing it so small, too afraid to even try.
So how do we finally evict the big snooze from our lives?
Sincero's got this technique, the this is good because exercise.
This is good because. So it's like finding the good even when things suck.
Exactly. Instead of focusing on what's wrong, you're shifting your perspective to find the opportunity.
I like that. It's like turning lemons into lemonade, but for your life.
Exactly. Like, let's say you lose your job.
Okay, that's a big one.
The big snooze is going to be like, see, I told you weren't good enough.
Oh, it's going to have a field day with that one.
But with the this is good because mindset, maybe you realize this is a chance to try something new.
It's like, okay, what can I learn from this? What's next?
Exactly. It's like you said, building those mental muscles for optimism.
Love it. Now, Sincero also talks about forgiveness.
Oh, forgiveness is huge.
It's not about letting people off the hook for bad behavior, though. It's about you.
It's about freeing yourself from that anger and resentment you're carrying around.
Right. It's not doing you any good.
Like she says, holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die.
Such a powerful visual.
It's true, though. We harm ourselves more than anyone else when we hold on to grudges.
Okay, I can see that. So when we forgive, we release the past, we open ourselves up to new possibilities, and then Sincero talks about letting go.
Forgiveness is a huge part of letting go. It allows us to move on.
Okay, so it's like forgiving ourselves and others is step one.
And then we can truly let go.
And Sincero tells this hilarious story about a bus ride in India to explain this.
Oh, that bus ride.
Yeah.
It was a recipe for disaster.
I bet. So what happened?
Just picture it. A jam-packed bus, barely holding it together, making random stops, picking up stray animals. I mean, you can't make this stuff up.
It's like something out of a movie. What was Sincero thinking?
Right. So at first, she's freaking out. I mean, who wouldn't?
I'd be clinging to my seat for dear life.
But then she has this realization she can either fight against the chaos or she can just surrender to it.
Oh, I get it. It's like sometimes you just gotta go with the flow.
Exactly. And that's when the magic happens, when we let go of control.
When we stop trying to force things and just allow life to unfold.
Exactly. And, you know, it's a metaphor for life, isn't it? We can get so caught up in our plans we miss out on the detours.
The unexpected adventures.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm definitely adding surrender to the chaos to my vision board. So after the bus ride, Sincero talks about making decisions.
She's a big believer in trusting your gut.
Oh, that intuition.
That feeling you get that often knows the answer even before your brain has had a chance to process everything.
I'm trying to get better at that. Trusting my gut. It's hard.
It takes practice.
It does. But Sincero, she uses this example of Henry Ford and how he was so determined to build the V8 engine.
Even when everyone told him it was impossible.
Wait, Henry Ford? Like the car guy?
The one and only. He had this vision, he just knew it was possible, and he went for it.
Okay, so he trusted his gut, even when no one else believed in his vision.
Exactly. It's about believing in yourself, even when it seems crazy to everyone else.
That takes guts. Okay, so if Henry Ford can trust his intuition to build a car, I can trust mine to figure out, like, what to have for dinner.
Exactly. It's about trusting yourself to make the best decisions for your life, no matter how big or small.
Love that. Now let's talk about something a little less intimidating than car engines. How about money?
Money. Sincero believes we can have a healthy and abundant relationship with money. But we have to change our mindset.
Right. Because a lot of us, we have this I don't know, this weird, almost shameful relationship with money.
Totally. We're afraid to talk about it, afraid to ask for what we deserve.
In Sincero, she's like, money is energy and it's all around us.
It's about aligning your energy with that abundance, not pushing it away.
Okay, so how do we actually do that? How do we go from feeling broke and stressed to, abundant?
Well, she talks about shifting our perspective from scarcity to abundance, and that starts with our thoughts.
So instead of thinking, I can't afford that, it's about asking, how can I afford that?
Exactly. And it's not just about thinking it, it's about believing it.
Okay, I'm with you. So what's next? How do we take action?
Well, Sincero talks about setting clear financial goals.
Like really specific goals, not just, I want to be rich.
Exactly. And visualizing yourself achieving those goals.
Yeah.
But there's more. We're just getting to the good stuff. Let's take a quick break and then we'll dive into Sincero's powerful manifesting techniques.
Stay tuned because we're about to get our manifest on. Okay, so we're about to dive into some of those manifesting techniques, the ones that'll help us upgrade our bank accounts.
Right. So Sincero, she's all about aligning our energy with abundance.
I'm all about that. But how? Give me the secret.
She's a big fan of vision boards.
Vision boards for money. I love it.
Exactly. It's about creating a visual representation of your dream financial life.
Okay, I'm listening. This is good.
So think, what represents abundance to you?
Okay, I'm thinking, like, pictures of my dream house, maybe a tropical vacation, those shoes I've been eyeing.
Exactly. Put it all on there.
So it's more than just slapping a picture of $1 million on a poster board.
Well, you could do that too if you want.
I mean, a girl can dream.
Right. But it's really about connecting with that feeling of abundance, what it means to you.
Okay, I can get behind that, manifesting the feeling, not just the stuff.
Exactly. And Sincero, she doesn't just focus on the positive,
Oh. What else is there? Rainbows and unicorns can't be the whole story, right?
Well, she also talks about facing our fears head on.
Okay. Yeah, because fear can definitely hold us back.
Totally. And she has this analogy, she calls it the crab effect.
Crab effect. Okay, you're going to have to explain that one.
Okay, so imagine a bucket full of crabs.
Crabs, okay, I'm picturing it.
If one crab tries to climb out, what do the others do? They pull it back down.
Crabs are kind of jerks, but I think I see where you're going with this.
Right. It's like that with people sometimes. The ones closest to us can accidentally hold us back from going after our dreams.
They're trying to keep us safe in the bucket.
Exactly. They might not even realize they're doing it, but their own fears, they can become our fears.
That's why it's so important to have those supportive people in our lives.
Yes. People who'll cheer us on, even when we're scared.
Our own personal cheer squad. And Sincero, she faced her fears head on when she went to India, right?
Oh yeah, she was terrified. Talk about stepping outside her comfort zone.
But she did it anyway.
Yeah.
And what happened?
She said it was one of the most transformative experiences of her life.
See, sometimes the scariest things are the ones most worth doing.
It's about pushing past that fear and discovering what we're capable of.
Okay, but real talk, facing our fears is still scary. Any practical tips?
Sincero's big on breaking down those big, scary goals into smaller, more manageable steps.
Baby steps, I can handle that.
And staying present, focusing on what you can control right now, not all the what-ifs in the future.
So true, it's like we create all this worry for nothing.
Exactly. And self-care is so important too, getting enough sleep, eating well, meditating.
It's all connected.
It is. We got to take care of ourselves, especially when we're going after those big dreams.
So true. So we covered a lot today. Subconscious beliefs, inner badasses, moist panties, even how to make friends with money.
It's been quite the journey.
It has. What's the one thing you hope our listeners take away from You Are a Badass?
That personal growth, it's not about being perfect. It's about progress.
Love that. So to our listeners, what resonated with you? What's one small step you can take right now to embrace your inner badass and create a life you love?
You have the power. Don't forget that.
Thank you so much for joining us on the deep dive. Keep diving deep, keep learning, and keep being awesome.